Hello, everyone. I wanted to come to you today because there's been a lot going on, and you know that whatever you know to be true is going to come out of my mouth and not something that someone else has said or whatever. So I want to start with this myth, this fallacy that tech has spread across the world, that it is neutral and apolitical. This is such a big lie that 20 plus years out as now we see the effects has caused great harm around the world. Tech has never been neutral. Tech has never been apolitical. What tech has been is a bunch of privileged white dudes, because that's the majority, over the years, who have had their own sides of the story, their own beliefs, coded into programs, coded into the products and services they create, and have not had any pushback, have not been challenged until now. No, I take that back. They have been challenged, but the challengers weren't in mass that they are now, where the pushback did not cause harm to the challenger. So the individuals who continually challenge that we were creating products and services that were inherently racist, that were inherently ableist, that were inherently discriminatory against the LGBTQ community, that were inherently against anyone in a marginalized community. Those voices were getting silenced. And I talk about this a lot lately because as I am a business strategist, as I look at tech businesses around the world, many don't have any, I call them tech organizations, because they're not businesses. They don't have the processes, procedures, and policies in place to make them a business. They don't learn from the data. They just collect it. They don't, all these other things. But one thing that I find that is really interesting in companies that don't have any of these things, never found any value in putting in like job descriptions or putting in policies for inclusion and diversities that should be the bedrock of their organizations, they do have NDAs. They have figured out that to them, because of the harm they're causing, an NDA is important. So that's telling in itself. But tech has not been neutral or apolitical. It's just been one-sided. It's been one narrative that's been able to hide itself in the good works that it's trying to do. And this is coming very apparent as we're seeing the attacks from tech leadership on Elizabeth Warren's plan to tax them at a higher rate. Oh, all of a sudden, it's not about, kumbaya, we're doing this for the world and make a world a better place. What we're seeing now is it was the right key in the door to open up. Maybe they're not as altruistic as they've been portraying themselves to be. Now, mind you, the people in the marginalized communities, the people who they've been targeting, have been saying this for a while. But other privileged individuals have been like, oh, they're so great. This is wonderful. They are just good stewards of the community. They are not. And then you have people who want to throw out capitalism. Capitalism is the devil. No, it's not. Capitalism is simply a theory that has been implemented in ways that justify the oppression and the genocide of people to make money. That is it. I believe that we can redefine and recalibrate, reissue, whatever the is for capitalism, because there is nothing inherently wrong with private businesses creating wealth. There is nothing inherently wrong with that. And you're seeing some of it in some very authentic. Now, there are some big corporations and some that are out there who are just getting the stamp because, that is what it is. But there are some companies out there who are really trying to understand that shareholder value alone cannot be the only thing that we care about. We have to care about our stakeholders, all of our stakeholders, and that includes, and this is the order that it needs to go in, most importantly, the people who work for you, then the people who partner with you, because they help you create the products and services that minimize harm and create value and help you differentiate and be innovative for the third stakeholder or the people who buy from you. And then, only then, is it about the people who invest in you. So that's where my focus is going lately in the future, because I just really am seeing, it's really disheartening, and it's really a lie when we keep talking about tech is, keep having these conversations about tech is neutral, tech is apolitical. Because I'm going to now go into a real world example of why this is such a fallacy and why it causes harm. So, don't know if you've been following all the hoopla about what's going on around me, but I'm going to say up front, full disclosure, I have become the lightning rod for this. And I'm okay with that, because that was the reason for causing #causeascene. It was understanding that there were marginalized people in this community that cannot afford to speak up, cannot afford to lose their jobs because they've said something that is their truth to someone in power, and it's been turned against them. So yes, I have my fuck civility shirt on for a reason. So I intentionally, when I started this in 2018, knew where I was going. And as I started to learn more about the space, I locked down my accounts. I started using services to take my information offline, because I knew that I would be a target, and I knew that my life would be threatened. And so I've created a business around the community support instead of sponsorships from organizations, because I knew that I was going to say something and they were going to take the money away. I knew that. I have specifically made myself a target for these individuals who want to continue to say tech is neutral and tech is apolitical. So, what that has done over the last almost a month is embolden people, and they actually believe they have a right to demand my time, my effort, my voice. Anything you want to know about how I maneuver, what I believe, what I advocate for, I've either written articles about it, created videos and audios about it. I don't need you to amplify my voice. First of all, I don't trust you. I don't know you, and I don't trust you. So, without getting to specifics of the current situation, there have been individuals who have a history, years before I even came into the tech space, have a history of causing harm to marginalized communities in tech. And yet, folks want to use this specific situation as a snapshot of benefit of the doubt. Why aren't they being given? Why are they losing finances? Why are the repercussions that? Because the repercussions have never been that. They've never been held accountable for anything that they've done. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you consider somebody losing their sponsorship, their book deal, more important than my fucking life, that says everything I need to know, and why I say tech has never been apolitical or neutral. So I want to give you, so now the message is being spun that an individual was disinvited to a conference because of his political views, because when I tweeted about it, I dropped in the picture of him with a mega hat on. Let me be clear to you. When I told him to fuck off, that was an afternoon. I don't remember what day it was, but that was an afternoon when I received that. And I already knew, based on the video he created about me the night before, where he stood, where his political views were leaning. It wasn't a I don't know. The next morning when I got up, someone had shared with me the mega hat photo. It confirmed what I already knew. It confirmed that this individual is not an individual that I'm going to share space with and feel safe. And let me tell you why. So you can say, blue conferences, red conferences, whatever you want to. You can say whatever in the hell you want to. I actually don't have a problem with that. I really don't. I need a space where I know that I'm going to be safe. And if that means, and I'm going to tell you, I don't even believe the blue conference, because there's so many white liberal progressives who will cause me harm too. So no, that doesn't work for me. That works for white people. It doesn't work for marginalized folks. But when I put that tweet up about him inviting me, that was disingenuous. And then the mega hat, let me tell you the history, why that is. I live in a state that the Ku Klux Klan still exists. There are places in this state I still will not drive through by myself. It's a guessing game. And I'm going to tell you, what a mega hat has done for me is the same thing that a swastika and a burning cross has done for me. It is a visual that tells me this person is not safe for me to be around. Can't speak for anybody else. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to enter a space with a whole bunch of people with mega hats on. Not going to do it. I'm not a martyr for this shit. And I shouldn't have to be a martyr for this shit. This is professional work. I stay very clear of local political advocacy work for that reason. I do enough in this space business-wise. And yet, it's the same shit that we see on, and then people want to throw up Martin Luther King and all this. Martin Luther King was from Atlanta. You assassinated him. So don't come at me with, now everything is political. Everything has always been political. What's the difference is? You're being challenged. There's a perspective. There's a understanding that is in mass now to challenge you. It's not just hashtag cause a scene. This is just one thing, one community that I've strategically brought together to do this work. But there are others. So let me be clear. Y'all can say whatever you want to about me. I'm going to continue to do my work. What I'm not going to do is make myself a target of physical harm or allow you to paint the narrative that these individuals are not potentially harmful to me because they've had to deal with the consequences of their behaviors. So that's all I have to say on this. And again, fuck civility, because civility is only an option for white people. But it's the expected behavior of everybody else, because it helps us manage our behavior. So you get to have years in tech of saying it's neutral and not political. That's bullshit. Things are changing. I'm not here to reform you. You either get your shit together or you'll be gone. That's just it. If you think this past month has been bad, just prepare yourselves. We are not stepping down. We are not closing our mouths. You will continue to see consequences, financial consequences, because that's the only thing you know. That's the only thing that matters to you. We've always, and there's data time and time again, that people like me have always bear the burden of financial consequences because of your behavior. Now it's time for you to share that burden. So have a good day.